Welcome to my channel Unleash Your English, my friends. Today I want to tell you a secret. Many people can think in English, but when it is time to speak, their brain stops. Their mouth is silent. They know the words, but the words don't come out fast. I know how it feels because I have been there. But I also know this. You can train your brain to think fast and speak smart. You can answer without fear. You can talk without stopping, and you can feel confident every time you open your mouth. Stay with me until the end, because you will learn the steps that can change how you speak forever. Chapter 1. The Struggle to Find Words. Have you ever been in a conversation where you knew exactly what you wanted to say, but the words did not come out? You could feel the answer in your head, but your mouth stayed silent. Your mind was running, but your tongue was frozen. You felt embarrassed. You felt slow. You thought, why is it so hard for me to speak? This is the struggle that many English learners face. And I know you are here because you have felt it too. It is not because you are not smart. It is not because you are lazy. It is not because you cannot learn English. The truth is, your brain is full of good ideas, but it has not yet learned to turn those ideas into quick English sentences. That is why, when someone asks you a question, you pause. You look for the right word. You try to remember the grammar. You worry if your pronunciation is correct. And in that moment of thinking, the chance to speak disappears. I remember my first time speaking English to a native speaker. My hands were shaking. My mind was shouting the answer in my own language. I knew the words in English, but they were hiding somewhere deep inside. My lips felt heavy. I stood there, trying to speak, but the other person kept waiting. I saw their eyes move away. I felt my confidence drop. That feeling stayed with me for days. Maybe you have felt this too. But here is something powerful you need to know. This struggle is normal. Every learner faces it. Even people who are now fluent once stood in the same place as you. They also froze in conversations. They also felt nervous. They also wished they could answer faster. So, you are not behind. You are not failing. You are on the same road that every successful English speaker has walked before. The problem is not that you cannot think. The problem is that you try to be perfect before you speak. You want every sentence to be correct. You want every word to be in the right order. You want to sound like a native. But perfection is slow. Perfection kills speed. And speed is what you need to speak smart. Think about a child learning to talk. They do not stop to check grammar in their head. They do not worry about long, complicated words. They use the words they know. They speak without fear. They speak fast because they are not afraid of mistakes. That is why they improve so quickly. When you are in a conversation, you do not need to give a perfect answer. You just need to give an answer. Even a short one. Even a simple one. The most important thing is to keep the conversation moving. If you wait too long, the other person will think you are not interested or that you do not understand. But if you answer quickly, even with a simple sentence, they will feel your energy. They will feel your confidence. And you will feel proud. Many learners think, I will start speaking faster when I know more words. But that is not true. You can start now, with the words you already know. The skill of speaking fast does not come from knowing everything. It comes from training your brain to use what you already have without delay. I want you to remember this. Every time you speak, you are training your brain. When you speak slowly, your brain learns to be slow. When you speak fast, your brain learns to be fast. So, if you want to speak smart, you must first practice speaking fast. Not in a rush. Not without thinking at all. But without overthinking. There is a big difference. When I first started practicing, I made so many mistakes. I said the wrong tense. I used the wrong word. Sometimes people laughed. But every time I spoke quickly, I noticed something. My brain started to send words to my mouth faster. My pauses became shorter. My confidence became stronger. It was like waking up a part of my brain that had been sleeping. And that is what I want you to experience. I want you to know that you can train this skill. It is not magic. It is not luck. It is practice. If you can walk, you can run. If you can think fast. And if you can think fast, you can speak smart. So, as we move forward in this video, I want you to make a promise to yourself. Promise that you will stop waiting for the perfect time to speak. Promise that you will not be silent just because you are scared of mistakes. Promise that you will give yourself permission to speak now, with what you have. Because the faster you start, the faster you will grow. And in the next chapter, we are going to see why thinking fast is not just a skill for speaking English. It is a skill that can change your life. Stay with me, because you are about to see how speed and confidence can turn every conversation into an opportunity. Chapter 2. Why Thinking Fast Matters. Thinking fast in English is not only about speaking faster. It is about living with confidence. When you can think fast, you can answer questions without fear. You can share your opinion without long pauses. You can connect with people in real time. This is what makes conversations exciting. This is what makes people listen to you. Imagine you are in a job interview. The interviewer asks you a question. You understand it. But you stop. You start looking for words in your head. You try to make a perfect sentence. Those few seconds feel like hours. The interviewer is still looking at you. Your heart is beating fast. Finally, you speak, but your voice is weak. You walk out of the room feeling like you could have done better. Now imagine the same interview, but this time you think fast. You hear the question, and your answer comes to your mouth like water from a tap. You say it clearly. You smile. The interviewer smiles back. You feel proud. You feel strong. Which version of you do you want people to see? The slow, unsure one, or the fast, confident one? Thinking fast matters because the world moves fast. In conversations, people do not wait forever for you to speak. If you take too long, the topic changes. The moment is gone. But if you can answer quickly, you stay in the moment. You become part of the flow. You feel included. When you can think fast, you stop being afraid of talking to strangers. You stop avoiding conversations. You stop missing chances to make friends, to learn, to grow. You start saying yes to invitations. You start enjoying English instead of fearing it. This is when learning becomes exciting. Thinking fast also makes you sound smarter. Not because you know big, difficult words, but because you respond quickly. People trust fast answers. They feel that you are sure of yourself. They feel that you know what you are talking about. Even if your sentence is simple, your speed makes it powerful. I learned this the hard way. Years ago, I went to a party. Everyone was speaking English. I understood most of it, but I was slow to join in. By the time I thought of something to say, they had already moved to another topic. I stood there, nodding and smiling, but inside I felt invisible. I left early that night, feeling small. A few months later, after practicing my speed, I went to another party. This time, I was different. When someone asked me a question, I replied instantly. When I had an idea, I said it right away. People laughed with me. They asked me more questions. They listened. I was still the same person, but I was faster. And because I was faster, I was part of everything. This is the magic of thinking fast. It turns you from a quiet listener into an active speaker. It gives you a voice in the room. It makes people remember you. But thinking fast is not just for social life. It helps in studies, in business, in travel. If you are in a meeting and someone asks for your opinion, you can speak without feeling shy. If you are in a shop and the cashier makes small talk, you can reply with confidence. If a stranger asks for help, you can respond immediately. Thinking fast also reduces mistakes. It sounds strange, but it is true. When you hesitate too much, you start overthinking. You mix up tenses. You forget words. But when you speak quickly, your brain uses what it knows best. Your natural memory works better. And most importantly, thinking fast makes English fun. You stop feeling like every conversation is a test. You stop judging yourself. You start enjoying the music of the language. You start feeling proud of every quick reply you give. I want you to see thinking fast as a door. Behind that door is a new version of you. A version that joins every conversation. A version that does not hide in the back of the room. A version that enjoys every word. That door is not locked. You just have to open it by practicing every day. So, the next time you are in a conversation, remember this. Speed is your friend. Do not wait for the perfect words. Use the words you have now. Say them with confidence. Because the faster you speak, the smarter you sound, and the more people will want to talk to you. In the next chapter, we will start with the easiest way to begin this journey. You will see how short answers can train your brain to think faster than you ever imagined. Stay with me, because the next step is simple, but it can change everything. Chapter 3. Start with short answers. When you want to think fast and speak smart, you do not need to start with long, complicated sentences. You can begin with short answers. This is the secret that many learners forget. They think they must speak in big paragraphs from the very first day. But the truth is, short answers are powerful. They are fast. They are clear. And they give your brain the practice it needs. Imagine someone asks you, "Do you like coffee?" You can answer, "Yes, I do." That is it. 3 words. Simple, quick, confident. You do not have to say, "Yes, I like coffee because it is very delicious and I drink it every morning before going to work." That is too much in the beginning. It makes you slow. It gives your brain too much to think about. Short answers give you speed. They help you react fast. They build your confidence step by step. When you give a short answer, you feel success. That success makes you want to speak again. The more you speak, the faster you become. I remember a student I taught many years ago. Her name was Sarah. She was very shy. She wanted to speak perfect English, so she always waited too long to answer. People thought she did not know anything. One day, I told her, "Forget perfect sentences. Give me short answers." At first, she felt strange. But after 1 week of short answers, she started speaking without fear. Her speed doubled, and soon, she was making longer sentences naturally. This is the magic of starting small. When you start with short answers, you remove the heavy pressure from your mind. You are not trying to be a professor. You are just having a conversation. And conversations move quickly. Here is a small exercise you can try today. Think of 10 simple questions. For example, do you like music? Are you happy today? Is the weather nice? Do you watch movies? Do you have a pet? Now, answer each question with just 2 or 3 words. Do not add extra details. Just answer quickly. Say it out loud. Do this every day for 1 week. You will notice that your brain begins to give you answers without thinking too much. Some learners worry that short answers make them sound boring. This is not true. Short answers are not the end of the conversation. They are the beginning. Once you feel comfortable with short answers, you can slowly add more detail. But the first goal is speed, not detail. Short answers are also great when you feel nervous. Sometimes you meet new people and your mind feels empty. That is okay. You can still answer with a short sentence and keep the conversation alive. This makes people see you as friendly and confident. Think about this. In your native language, how did you start speaking as a child? You did not speak long stories. You spoke 1 or 2 words. Your parents understood you. They smiled. You felt happy. And then, with time, you learned to speak more. English is the same. Short answers are your baby steps. Another benefit of short answers is that they help you focus on pronunciation. When you are not worried about a long sentence, you can say the few words you have with confidence and clarity. This makes people understand you better. And when people understand you, you feel even more confident. Here is something important. Do not confuse short answers with one-word answers. If someone asks, "Do you like tea?" and you only say, "Yes," that can feel cold. But if you say, "Yes, I do," or "Yes, I like it," it feels warm. The extra word makes a big difference. It shows you are engaged in the conversation. With time, you will notice something amazing. The short answers will naturally grow longer. Your brain will start to add more words without you forcing it. This is because you have trained your mind to react quickly. You will move from "yes, I do" to "yes, I do. I drink it every morning." And you will not even notice the change. I want you to believe this. Starting small is not weakness. It is the smartest way to grow. Every fast speaker you admire today began with short answers. They built speed first, then complexity. You can do the same. So today, I challenge you. For the next 7 days, answer every question in English with 2 to 4 words. Do not try to be perfect. Do not try to sound like a textbook. Just answer quickly and clearly. If you do this, your speed will improve faster than you think. In the next chapter, we will take this skill to the next level. You will learn how to practice instant reaction so that no question feels too fast for you. Stay with me, because this is where you will start to feel the real change in your speaking. Chapter 4: Practice Instant Reaction. If you want to think fast and speak smart, you must train your brain to react instantly. Instant reaction means your mouth starts speaking the moment you hear a question. There is no long pause. There is no searching for the perfect word. There is no looking at the ceiling for ideas. You hear, you speak, you keep the conversation alive. The good news is this: instant reaction is not a gift you are born with. It is a skill you can practice every single day. Just like you can train your body to run faster, you can train your brain to speak faster. The more you practice, the faster you will react. And the faster you react, the more confident you will feel. Many learners wait for the right moment in their head before speaking. They think they must prepare the sentence in their mind first. They want it to be perfect before they open their mouth. But while they are preparing, the moment passes. The other person moves to another topic. The chance is gone. When you practice instant reaction, you break this habit. You learn to trust yourself. You learn to use the words you already know without fear. You learn that it is better to give an answer now than to stay silent and regret it later. Here is how you can start. Find a list of very simple questions. They can be about anything. What is your name? Where do you live? Do you like chocolate? What time do you wake up? Who is your best friend? Set a timer for 1 minute. Ask yourself the question and answer it immediately. No thinking. No pausing. Just speak. If you cannot think of a perfect word, use a simple one. If you cannot think of the exact grammar, just say it anyway. The goal is speed, not perfection. When you do this daily, you will notice something amazing. Your brain will start sending words to your mouth faster. You will stop feeling afraid of making mistakes. Your answers will come more naturally. And that is the point, to make speaking feel natural, not forced. I remember one of my students, Ahmed. He was very smart, but he always froze when I asked him a question in class. He wanted every word to be correct before speaking. One day, I gave him this instant reaction exercise. At first, he hated it. He said, "This is too fast for me." But after a week, he surprised himself. He was answering faster than ever before. The smile on his face told me everything. He had broken the fear that held him back. Practicing instant reaction is like training a reflex. Think about when someone throws a ball at you. You do not have time to think about catching it. You just put your hands out and catch it. That is how you want speaking English to feel. Hear the question, give the answer. Keep the conversation moving. Do not worry if your answers are short or simple at first. That is normal. The important thing is that you speak without delay. Once you can react instantly, you can start adding more detail naturally. But first, you must train the speed. You can make this fun by asking a friend or family member to help. Tell them to ask you random questions at any time of the day, even when you are busy, even when you are not ready. Your job is to answer immediately. This is how you train your brain to be ready anytime, anywhere. Another great way is to watch videos in English and pause them when someone asks a question. Then answer out loud before pressing play again. You can do this with movies, interviews, or even YouTube videos. This makes you feel like you are in a real conversation. The first few days will feel strange. You might feel nervous. You might feel like your brain is slow. But do not stop. Every time you answer quickly, you are building a new habit. Every quick reply is a step toward confidence. Remember, thinking fast does not mean speaking without care. It means speaking without fear. It means trusting yourself. It means knowing that mistakes are part of learning. The fastest way to improve is to speak, not to stay silent. So from today, promise yourself this. You will not freeze when someone speaks to you in English. You will react. You will answer. You will train your brain to speak as soon as it hears a question. This is how you will grow. This is how you will become the confident speaker you want to be. In the next chapter, we will face the biggest enemy of instant reaction, the fear of mistakes. I will show you how to remove that fear completely so nothing can slow you down. Stay with me, because this next step will free you in ways you cannot imagine. Chapter 5. Remove the fear of mistakes. Fear is the biggest enemy of fast thinking and smart speaking. It is the heavy stone that sits on your chest when you try to talk. It is the voice in your head that whispers, "What if you say it wrong? What if people laugh? What if they do not understand you?" And because of that voice, you stay silent. But here is the truth. Mistakes are not your enemy. They are your teacher. Every mistake you make is a step toward fluency. Every wrong word you speak is a lesson your brain will remember. The more you speak and make mistakes, the more you grow. The only way to avoid mistakes is to say nothing. And saying nothing means learning nothing. Think about how a child learns to walk. They fall again and again. They hit the floor. They cry. But they get up. They try again. They do not stop because they made a mistake. In fact, the more they fall, the better they become. One day, they walk without thinking about it. English is the same. Every mistake is just a step forward. I remember when I first started speaking English. I made so many mistakes. I used the wrong tense. I mixed words from my own language. Sometimes people corrected me. Sometimes they laughed. And yes, it hurt. But I realized something powerful. Every time I spoke, even with mistakes, I was improving. My next sentence was a little better. My next conversation was a little smoother. If I had waited for perfect English, I would still be waiting today. The fear of mistakes is like a locked door. But the key is already in your hand. The key is action. The moment you decide to speak, even if it is not perfect, you open the door. You walk into a world where every word teaches you something new. When you remove fear, your brain works faster. Fear slows your thinking. It makes you doubt yourself. It makes you waste time checking your sentence in your head. But when you are not afraid, your words come naturally. You stop worrying about grammar in the middle of a conversation. You focus on connection, not perfection. One of my students, Maria, was very quiet in class. She understood English well, but she almost never spoke. When I asked why, she said, "I am afraid I will say it wrong." I told her, "From now on, your job is not to speak perfectly. Your job is to make 5 mistakes every day." She laughed, but she tried it. In the first week, she spoke more than in the entire month before. By the second month, she was speaking without counting mistakes at all. She had trained herself to be free. This is what I want for you. I want you to stop thinking of mistakes as failure. They are proof that you are trying. They are signs that you are moving forward. If you speak perfect English in your head, but never out loud, you are not learning. But if you speak imperfect English out loud, you are on the road to perfect English. Here is something I do even now when I learn a new language. I tell myself, I am allowed to be wrong. I am allowed to sound strange. I am allowed to learn. This simple thought takes away the pressure. It reminds me that I am a student, not a robot. When you speak without fear, people feel it. They see your confidence. They want to listen to you. And when you are relaxed, you make fewer mistakes naturally. The strange thing is, the more you accept mistakes, the less you make them. From today, I want you to make a new rule for yourself. Never let the fear of a mistake stop you from speaking. If you know the answer, say it. If you are not sure, say it anyway. If someone corrects you, thank them and keep going. Your goal is not to speak perfectly today. Your goal is to speak bravely today. Remember, fluency does not grow in silence. It grows in action. It grows in every brave word you speak. Mistakes are not the wall that blocks your path. They are the bricks that build your path. Step on them, not away from them. In the next chapter, I will show you how to make your listening so sharp that your brain can predict words before they are spoken. This will make you think even faster and speak even smarter. Stay with me, because the next step will give you the power to answer before your fear even has a chance to speak. Chapter 6. Listen like a speed runner. If you want to think fast, you must first listen fast. Listening is not just hearing words. Listening is catching them, understanding them, and preparing your answer before the other person finishes speaking. This is the secret of people who respond quickly. They are not waiting for the last word to start thinking. They are already building their answer while listening. Many learners listen slowly. They focus on each word and try to translate it into their own language. This is why they speak slowly too. If your brain is busy translating, it cannot react quickly. You must train your brain to understand English in English. That is how you save time. That is how you speak smart. Listening like a speed runner means being alert. It means paying attention to the tone, the emotion, and the context of the conversation. You do not need to know every word to understand the meaning. Your brain is smart enough to guess. And the more you practice, the better your guesses will be. I remember the first time I watched a movie in English without subtitles. At first, I was lost. I missed words. I missed jokes. But I kept listening. I started noticing patterns. I noticed how people greet each other. I noticed common phrases that appeared again and again. Soon, I could understand the main idea without stopping the movie. That was when my speaking also got faster. Listening is the foundation. If you train your ears, your mouth will follow. When you hear a lot of English, your brain starts to predict what is coming next. For example, if someone says, "Do you wanna?" your brain will expect words like eat, go, or see. You do not have to wait for the full sentence to start thinking of your answer. Here is a simple exercise you can try. Listen to short English conversations every day. They can be from YouTube, podcasts, or even movies. Play one sentence, pause, and say what you think will come next. Then play the rest and see if you were correct. This will train your brain to react faster. Another great habit is shadowing. This means you listen to a sentence and repeat it immediately, trying to match the speed and tone of the speaker. At first, it feels difficult. Your tongue will get tired. Your brain will feel slow. But after a few days, you will notice that you can keep up. You will feel yourself moving at the same speed as native speakers. When you listen like a speed runner, you stop worrying about every single grammar point. You focus on flow. You focus on understanding enough to respond. This is how real-life conversation works. No one stops the world so you can prepare. The world keeps moving. You must move with it. I had a student named Leo who loved English, but always spoke slowly. When I asked why, he said, "I am still translating in my head." I told him to stop reading English and start listening more. For 1 month, he listened to English every morning while eating breakfast and every night before sleeping. He did not study grammar. He just listened. By the end of the month, his speaking speed had doubled. Why? Because his brain was ready before his mouth moved. Listening fast also helps with confidence. When you understand quickly, you do not panic. You feel in control. And when you feel in control, your answers are clear and strong. From today, I want you to treat listening like a workout. Give your ears daily exercise. Start with 5 minutes a day, then move to 10, then 15. Listen to different voices, different accents, different speeds. Your brain will adapt. Do not worry if you do not understand everything. That is normal. Even native speakers do not understand every word in every conversation. Focus on catching the main idea. Focus on guessing from the context. This will give you the speed you need. When you master listening like a speed runner, you will notice something powerful. You will start answering questions before the other person finishes speaking. You will feel your brain working ahead of your mouth. And that is when you will know you are on the path to thinking fast and speaking smart. In the next chapter, I will show you how to think in English all day, even when you are alone. This will make speed your natural state, not something you only practice during lessons. Stay with me, because this next step will make English a part of your mind every hour of the day. Chapter 7. Thinking in English all day. If you want to think fast and speak smart, English cannot just be something you use in class or for 1 hour of practice. It has to live in your mind all day. The more your brain lives in English, the faster it will react. The faster it reacts, the smarter you will speak. Thinking in English all day is the most powerful habit you can build. Many learners only use English when they have a lesson. When the lesson ends, they return to their own language completely. This is why progress feels slow. Your brain needs more time in English to make it natural. The goal is to make English part of your daily thoughts, not just part of your homework. Thinking in English all day does not mean speaking out loud every minute. It means training your mind to choose English when it talks to itself. We all have an inner voice. It tells us what to do. It comments on things we see. It asks questions. You can make that inner voice speak in English. When you wake up, say to yourself in English, "Good morning. Time to start the day." When you get dressed, think in English. "I am wearing a blue shirt today." When you make tea, tell yourself, "I am pouring hot water." These are small, simple sentences, but they keep your mind inside English. I remember when I started doing this with a new language I was learning. At first, I felt slow. My brain wanted to use my first language. But I pushed myself. Every time I caught myself thinking in my own language, I switched to English. After a few weeks, it became automatic. I did not have to push anymore. My brain had learned the habit. Thinking in English all day has another big benefit. It makes speaking easier when you meet someone. If your mind has been in English all morning, you do not need time to warm up before talking. You are already ready. The words are already active in your brain. This makes your replies faster and your sentences smoother. You can also use your surroundings to help. Look at objects and name them in English in your head. Table, chair, window, door. Then add more detail. The window is open. The chair is brown. This trains your brain to describe the world quickly. And description is one of the best ways to build thinking speed. When you walk outside, notice people and think about them in English. That man is wearing a black coat. That woman is reading a book. The children are playing. This is like a game you can play with yourself anywhere. Some learners think they need big vocabulary to think in English all day. You do not. You can start with the words you already know. If you do not know a word, find a simple way to say it. For example, if you do not know the word for umbrella, you can say the thing for rain. This keeps your brain moving. Later, you can learn the exact word. I had a student named Daniel who spoke slowly because he only used English during lessons. I told him to try thinking in English all day. At first, he only did it for 10 minutes in the morning, then 30 minutes, then 1 hour. After 1 month, he told me, "It is strange. Now I start dreaming in English." That is the power of making it part of your life. When you think in English all day, you stop translating. Translating takes time. It makes you slow. But when your thoughts are already in English, speaking is just saying what is already in your head. There is no delay. That is how you sound fast and smart. From today, I want you to challenge yourself. Start with small steps. Try to think in English for 5 minutes every morning. Then increase the time every few days. You will notice your brain adjusting. It will start to choose English automatically. And once your brain chooses English, speed will follow. This habit will change how you feel about speaking. You will not see it as a big, scary task. You will see it as something natural. And when something is natural, it is easy. In the next chapter, I will show you how to use memory triggers so that words and sentences come to your mouth instantly. These small tricks will make your brain faster than you ever thought possible. Stay with me, because this is where you start unlocking your full speaking speed. Chapter 8. Use memory triggers. One of the biggest challenges in speaking English fast is remembering the right words at the right time. You know them. You have learned them before. But when you need them in a conversation, they disappear. Your mind goes blank. You feel frustrated. You think, I studied so much, but I still forget. This is where memory triggers can change everything. A memory trigger is something that helps you remember instantly. It can be a picture, a sound, a feeling, or even a smell. When your brain connects a word to something real, it finds it faster. It is like giving your memory a shortcut. Think about how you remember a song from years ago. Maybe you hear just one note, and suddenly you can sing the whole thing. You do not need to think hard. It comes naturally. That is how triggers work for your English. They wake up the words in your mind without effort. You can create these triggers for any word or sentence you want to remember. For example, if you want to remember the word sunrise, you can picture the morning sky in your head. You can imagine the warm light on your face. You can feel the fresh air. When you connect the word to this image and feeling, it stays in your memory much longer. I remember teaching a student named Hannah who struggled with vocabulary. She learned new words every week, but she forgot them quickly. I told her to make a picture in her head for every new word. If the word was rain, she imagined herself standing outside with water falling on her hair. She felt it. She saw it. She heard it. Soon, her memory was much stronger, and her speaking became faster. Memory triggers can also be sounds. If you want to remember the word cat, you can think of the sound a cat makes. If you want to remember ocean, you can imagine the sound of waves. These sounds are quick signals to your brain. They call the words forward instantly. You can even use smells as triggers. If you are learning the word coffee, smell real coffee while saying it out loud. The next time you smell coffee, your brain will remember the word without effort. Another powerful trigger is emotion. Our brain never forgets how we feel. If you connect a word to a strong feeling, it stays with you. For example, if the word is excited, think of a time when you felt truly happy and full of energy. Feel it again. Say the word. That feeling will bring the word back to you in future conversations. The best part is that you can combine triggers. You can use a picture, a sound, and a feeling all together for one word. This makes your memory even stronger. When you use memory triggers every day, speaking becomes easier. You do not have to search for words in your brain. They come to you naturally. And when words come naturally, you speak faster. Here is an easy way to start. Choose 5 words you want to remember today. For each word, make a quick trigger in your mind. Spend just 10 seconds imagining it clearly. Then, during the day, think of those triggers again. You will be surprised how quickly the words come back to you. I use memory triggers even now when I learn something new. They are like little keys that unlock my memory. And when I speak, I feel confident because I know the words are ready for me. This is important for fast thinking because your brain works better with connections. A word alone is easy to forget, but a word tied to a smell, sound, picture, or feeling is hard to lose. And when you do not lose words, you do not lose speed. From today, I want you to start building your own collection of triggers. Make them personal. Make them fun. The more you enjoy them, the better they work. And every time you speak, you will see how quickly your memory responds. In the next chapter, we will take this speed to another level by repeating key phrases faster each time. This is how you turn quick thinking into automatic speaking. Stay with me, because the next step will train your brain like a muscle. Chapter 9. Repeat with speed. If you want to speak English fast, you must train your brain and mouth to work together like a team. The best way to do this is by repeating with speed. Repetition is not boring when you do it the right way. It is powerful. It is the secret to making words and sentences automatic. Think about how athletes train. A runner does not run one time and then stop. They run again and again until their body knows exactly how to move. A pianist does not play a song once and expect perfection. They play it hundreds of times until their fingers move without thinking. Your English works the same way. You must repeat sentences until they feel natural and easy. Repeating with speed is different from just repeating slowly. When you repeat slowly, your brain is still thinking too much. But when you repeat with speed, your brain learns to send the words to your mouth instantly. This is how you build fast thinking. Start with one simple sentence. For example, I like learning English. Say it slowly first to get the pronunciation right. Then say it again, a little faster. Then faster. Push yourself to say it without stopping. The goal is not to rush, but to train your brain to be quick. At first, you might make mistakes. You might miss a word. You might laugh. That is fine. Every mistake is proof that you are pushing your limits. The more you push, the more your speed will grow. I remember one of my students, Omar. He wanted to speak faster, but always paused too much. I gave him 10 short sentences and told him to repeat each one 10 times, faster every round. At first, he struggled, but after 2 weeks, his pauses became shorter and his answers in class were quicker. He told me, "Now the words come before I even think." That is the power of repeating with speed. You can do this with any phrase you like. Common ones are the best because you will use them often in real life. For example, how are you today? That's a good idea. I don't understand. Can you help me? When you repeat them daily, they become automatic. You will not need to think before using them. They will just come out naturally. The magic of repeating with speed is that it builds confidence. When you know you can say something fast and clearly, you feel ready for any conversation. You are no longer afraid of being slow. And this confidence makes you speak even faster. Make it part of your daily routine. Choose 5 to 10 sentences. Say them every morning. Start slow, then increase speed. Try to beat your own record. Turn it into a game. See how many times you can say a sentence in 20 seconds. This keeps your practice fun and challenging. Another trick is to combine speed repetition with listening. Play a short sentence from a video, then pause and repeat it quickly. Try to match the speed of the speaker. This will make you sound more natural and improve your listening at the same time. Do not be afraid to exaggerate at first. Move your mouth more. Speak louder. Give the sentence energy. This makes the muscles in your mouth stronger, so they can move faster when you need them to. Over time, you will notice something amazing. The sentences you practice will start to appear in your real conversations without you planning it. Someone will ask you a question, and you will reply instantly with a phrase you repeated before. That is when you know your practice is working. From today, I want you to see repetition as your best friend. Do not think of it as boring. Think of it as the secret key to speed. Every time you repeat with speed, you are building a faster, smarter version of yourself. In the next chapter, we will take this even further. I will show you how to connect fast thinking to real conversations so your practice becomes real-world speaking power. This is where your speed truly comes alive. Chapter 10. Turn thinking into speaking. You have been practicing speed. You have been repeating sentences. You have been thinking in English. But now comes the most important step. You must turn those thoughts into words in real conversations. This is the moment where practice becomes action. This is the bridge between learning and living English. Many learners can think in English. They can form sentences in their head. They know the words. But when it is time to speak, they freeze. They stay silent. They wait for the perfect sentence. And because they wait, the moment passes. This is the habit we must break. Turning thinking into speaking means speaking the moment the thought is ready. No extra waiting. No extra checking in your head. Just speak. The words in your mind must become words from your mouth. Even if the sentence is not perfect. Even if you make a small mistake. The goal is connection, not perfection. Think about how you speak your first language. You do not prepare every word in your head before talking. You just speak. You trust your mouth to follow your thoughts. That is exactly what you must do in English. Trust yourself. Trust your practice. Trust that the words will come. One of my students, Lena, was amazing at writing in English. She could think of beautiful sentences. But in speaking, she was slow. She told me, I have the sentence in my head, but I am scared to say it wrong. I gave her a challenge. For 1 week, she had to speak every thought that came into her head during conversation, even if it was not perfect. By the end of the week, she was speaking faster and with more confidence than ever before. She told me, it feels like my mouth and my brain are finally working together. This is what happens when you stop holding your words inside. The more you release them, the faster they move. Your brain learns that speaking is safe. It learns that you will not punish yourself for mistakes. And because you are relaxed, your thoughts become smoother. Here is an exercise you can try. Talk to yourself about what you are thinking, but speak it out loud. If you are making tea, say, I am making tea. The water is hot. I will add sugar. If you are walking outside, say, the sun is bright. The road is busy. I see children playing. Do not just think it. Speak it. This trains your brain to turn thoughts into spoken sentences instantly. Another way is to practice with a partner. Tell them to ask you random questions. The rule is that you must answer without more than 2 seconds of thinking. Even if you are not sure of the perfect answer, just say something. This will teach you to trust your first thought and turn it into speech quickly. The more you do this, the more natural it becomes. Soon, you will not even notice the moment when thought becomes speech. You will just speak, just like in your native language. That is when you know you are reaching real fluency. Do not be afraid if, in the beginning, your sentences are short or simple. That is normal. Your speed will grow over time. Your sentences will get longer without you trying. But you cannot reach that stage if you do not start speaking now. Remember this. The world will not wait for your perfect sentence. Conversations move. Opportunities pass. If you have something to say, say it. If the sentence is not perfect, you can fix it later. But if you say nothing, there is nothing to fix. From today, make a promise to yourself. Whenever you have a thought in English, turn it into speech. Do not let it stay locked in your mind. Let it out. The more you do this, the faster your thinking and speaking will become. In the next chapter, we will take this skill and test it under real-life pressure. I will show you how to practice speaking fast, even when your heart is racing and your hands are shaking. This will make you ready for any conversation, anywhere. Stay with me, because the next step is the real test of your new speed. Chapter 11. Practice under pressure. It is easy to speak fast when you are alone in your room. There is no noise. There is no one watching you. There is no pressure. But the real challenge is speaking fast when your heart is beating fast. When you feel nervous, and when the world around you is moving quickly. This is where many learners slow down. This is where fear returns. If you want to think fast and speak smart in real life, you must train yourself to perform under pressure. This is the same way athletes prepare for a big game. They do not just practice in perfect conditions. They practice with noise, with distraction, with people watching. They know that real life is never silent or easy. You must prepare the same way for English. Speaking under pressure means staying calm when you feel the heat. It means trusting your training even when your mind feels nervous. It means letting your words flow even if your heart is racing. This is a skill you can learn. And once you learn it, nothing can stop you from speaking anywhere, with anyone. I remember a student named Kamal. He spoke well in private lessons, but in group discussions he froze. His mind went blank. His voice became small. I told him, "We are going to practice with pressure." At first, he was scared, but I gave him small challenges. We practiced speaking with a timer. We practiced while music was playing. We practiced with people interrupting him. Day by day, he learned to keep speaking no matter what. After a month, he could speak confidently even in a crowded meeting. You can do this too. Start by creating small moments of pressure in your practice. For example, use a timer. Give yourself 5 seconds to answer a question, not more. This will train your brain to react instantly, just like in a real conversation. Another way is to practice with distractions. Play music in the background. Watch a video with the sound on low while speaking. Have a friend ask you a question while someone else talks nearby. This will teach you to focus on your own words even when your environment is busy. You can also practice with an audience, even a small one. Ask a friend or family member to sit and listen while you speak. The feeling of being watched will make your heart beat faster. This is good. You are training your body to stay calm under that feeling. The secret is to start small and grow. If you try to put yourself in a very high-pressure situation too soon, you may feel discouraged. Begin with light challenges. As you get comfortable, increase the difficulty. This is how you build confidence step by step. Speaking under pressure also requires controlling your breathing. Many learners forget to breathe when they feel nervous. This makes the mind panic. Before you speak, take a deep breath. Fill your lungs. Let the air out slowly. This will tell your body that you are safe. It will help you think clearly even in a fast situation. You must also change how you see pressure. Pressure is not your enemy. It is your training partner. It is there to make you stronger. Every time you speak under pressure, you are preparing for the real world. You are teaching your brain to work fast when it matters most. I want you to imagine this. You are in a meeting and someone asks you a question. You feel the eyes on you. But instead of freezing, you take a breath. You speak. Your words come out quickly and clearly. You see people nodding. You feel proud. This is the result of your training. This is the reward for practicing under pressure. From today, do not avoid situations that make you nervous. Walk toward them. Use them. Every time you speak in a difficult situation, you are building a stronger, faster, braver version of yourself. In the next chapter, we will bring everything together. I will show you how to see yourself in the future as a fast, confident speaker who enjoys every conversation. This vision will push you to keep going until English speed is part of who you are. Stay with me, because the final chapter will be the most inspiring of all. Chapter 12, Your Fast, Smart English Future. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself 1 year from now. You are sitting in a cafe with friends from different countries. They are all speaking English. You are not just listening. You are part of the conversation. You are answering quickly. You are laughing. You are sharing your thoughts without fear. You feel confident. You feel free. This is not just a dream. This can be your reality. The only difference between the future you and the present you is action. Every step we have talked about in this journey is a piece of that future. Thinking fast, speaking smart, practicing daily, removing fear, listening like a speed runner, turning thoughts into words, speaking under pressure. These are not just lessons. They are tools, and they are now yours. Your fast, smart English future begins with one decision: to keep going. There will be days when you feel tired, days when you feel slow, days when you make more mistakes than usual. But those days do not mean you are failing. They mean you are learning. They mean you are growing. Think about how far you have already come. You now know that speed is a skill you can build. You know that short answers can be powerful. You know that practice can be fun. You know that mistakes are not something to fear, but something to welcome. You know how to train your brain to react instantly. You know how to handle pressure. This knowledge is your foundation. The future you is not perfect. They still make mistakes sometimes. But they do not stop. They do not freeze. They speak. They connect. They enjoy every conversation. And because they speak more, they improve more. I remember one student who told me, "I will never be able to speak fast like native speakers." I asked her why not. She had no answer. The truth was, she had already improved so much, but she could not see it because she only compared herself to perfection. The moment she stopped chasing perfect and started enjoying progress, everything changed. She began speaking faster without even noticing. This is the mindset I want you to take into your future. Stop waiting to be perfect. Start being present. The present is where your future is built. Every conversation you have now is shaping the confident speaker you will become. Your fast, smart English future will open doors you cannot even see yet. It might give you a better job. It might help you make friends from around the world. It might let you travel without fear. It might even allow you to help others who are on the same journey. But the most beautiful gift it will give you is freedom. Freedom to express yourself. Freedom to share your ideas. Freedom to be part of the world in any language you choose. From today, carry this vision with you. See yourself as that fast, smart speaker. Feel the pride. Feel the excitement. And let that feeling push you to practice even on the hard days. You have everything you need now. The steps are simple. The tools are clear. The only thing left is to use them. Speak every day. Think in English every day. Listen with focus. React without fear. Repeat with speed. And most of all, believe in yourself. The future is not far. It is waiting for you. And every word you speak brings it closer. Now, I want you to take one more step. Keep learning with me. Subscribe to this channel so we can keep building your English together. Like this video if it inspired you. Share it with someone who needs this journey. And tell me in the comments, what is one thing you will do today to move toward your fast, smart English future? Your journey does not end here. It starts here. And I am with you all the way. Now you have the map. Your job is to walk the path. Think fast, speak smart, and live the English life you dream about. If you want more videos that guide you step by step, subscribe now. Like this video, share it with your friends, and comment below. Which step will you start today? Your journey begins now, and I'm here to help you all the way.